What is going on YouTube? So I just got my DTA axle for my 2009 Mazdaspeed 3. I have a removal video, so now this is part 2 with installation. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this box. I have the tripod set up, so I'm going to try to actually record me hands-on. And I'm hoping that installing the axle goes a little more smooth than removing it, because removing it was a pain in the butt. And if you guys haven't seen that video, I would definitely check it out. In case you have this job in the near future with your Mazdaspeed, I had to use a pair of locking pliers with the attachment made for a slide hammer, and that was the only way I was able to free up that C-clip in the splines of the axle, trying to remove it from the transmission side. So yeah, now that we have the new axle, I'm just going to go ahead, unbox it, and slap it in. Okay, so here is the new DTA axle. I'm reusing an old axle nut just to kind of beat this thing in. If I can't just, by brute force shove this inside. Looks like I've lost some transmission fluid, or whatever that is, on the ground. So this thing may need some. After this, make sure all of this is clean. Put a little bit of grease on this C-clip here. Got plenty of it, that's for sure. So let's see if I can get this thing in. Oh, one tech tip. When you guys are installing an axle, I don't know if this is in frame or not. Let me check the video. So when you reinstall an axle back, you want to make sure that the C-clip opening is at the top. So you want the opening at the 12 o'clock position, basically. So I'm going to try to make sure that's facing up, 12 o'clock. So put it in. I think it's in, or I think it's splined at least. I'm gonna hit this nut with this hammer. Just to make sure it's fully seated. Okay, so, the dust shield of the axle is flush up against the transmission now. So let me beat this in just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna take my phone off the tripod and show you guys. So here we are, the axle. Let me see if I can get in here and show you guys. See how it's flush. The dust shield is up against the transmission. It's splined in, beat all the way in. So yeah. I guess a combination of just getting the splines kind of greased up and having that C-clip, the opening facing upright, you can actually get it kind of started by hand. Of course, to get it fully seated, just reuse your old axle nut and use that to kind of beat the axle in place. So now I'm just going to take this off because the axle came with a brand new one, so I'm just going to use the brand new one. And then I'll show you guys what we need to do once we get this axle set up in the hub side. So now we can start to button everything up. Now I'm trying to get the axle spline into the hub. New axle nut. Got a couple of threads going now, so I'm gonna ease this nut in with a 32mm socket. Starting to draw the axle into the hub. So I'm going to put a fresh battery in this impact and torque it down real quick. Okay. So that's pretty tight. Now you see this little keyway right here. So what I'm gonna do now is take a, if you have a punch, that would work better. I don't have one, so I'm gonna use a flathead screwdriver. And that will kind of lock this axle nut and keep it from ever trying to spin off or loosen up. So that should be good. Okay, so I swapped jacks. This one gets higher, and plus this one is maxed out, holding the car up, and this one goes up higher than the others. So the car is actually lower now, and now that I have a jack that can bring this spindle up higher, it's gonna work out better. I'm gonna see if I can get my phone up in here and show you guys. I'm just gonna start the tie rod. So I'm gonna see if I can keep it supported with this real quick, and get this put in under like so. Here's this nut. The tie rod nut is a 17 millimeter. So I got it started. I'm gonna grab my impact. And torque it down. So this sway bar end link. It's a 15 millimeter. I think I should be able to impact it on without using a wrench. But if it starts to spin, then it's an 18 millimeter wrench that you need to go in behind it. So here's my 15. Yep, so it's spinning. 18 millimeter wrench, get up in behind it, and now we can torque it down. Just like so. Now, our spindle bolt to the coilover, go ahead and get it in, and it is a 17 millimeter. I'll get my 17 in there. Wheel speed sensor, if you've unhooked it, make sure to hook it back up. I need a flashlight to make sure I got it aligned properly, but looks like we're almost done with this job. That's in place. Make sure heat shield is not hitting the back of the rotor, because you may get a new sound. If not, I did have a beauty ring, I'm pretty sure. It came off the hub. Where did it go? So I want to be on the hunt for that real quick. Okay, so I found the beauty cover, got the wheel on, it's torqued. Now I'm gonna take it down the road, make sure we have no issues. So I took it up the road and it was screeching. What did I say? The rotor, or the brake shield, was scraping the rotor, so now I'm gonna pry that out and take it up for another test drive. But the axle seemed to do great. There was no shimmy, no shake in the steering wheel, just some nasty metallic rubbing sounds with the heat shield. Well, that solved the screeching problem. Just had to fix that heat shield off the rotor. Everything else seems to be good to go. All that's left is to wash this thing. It's disgusting with all that grease, but yeah, installation is way easier than trying to remove it. Thanks for watching.